everyone, my name is Amos Nimas and welcome to this new video on YouTube. Not that I like YouTube, but you have to do with what you got, so that's why I'm making this video on YouTube. So don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell and leave a comment below because that's how it works here, folks. That's how it works. Speaking of how it works, I am leaving the country that I'm in right now soon, so there might be a delay before my next video because I'll be in another country. So yeah, I'm traveling. I'm a traveler. I travel because I enjoy traveling. That's what I do. So enough of that. Enough about me. You're here for the good stuff. You're here for the Linux stuff. The information on your Linux, Unix machine operating system GNU/Linux. Yeah. So let's open the terminal, folks. Let's open the terminal. Now that the Kitty terminal is open, we can do something with it. Let's do an SL. It's the same as LS, but a little bit more stylized because when you mistype, you still want the result. It's the same as if I did like if I cd into my document folder, I can do cd ... without the space and it still works. That's being smart, folks. It's thinking about the time when you're not in advance so that you prevent the mistake that you would do and make it so that it ain't a mistake anymore. It's as designed. By the way, something I did that I should have done a long time ago and I'm gonna show it to you right now. This is a test. Enter. I am gonna copy this with Ctrl+C and paste it with Ctrl+V in the terminal. And what's so amazing about that? If you're new to the Linux terminal, hello. Nice to see you here, new people that watch my video. Apparently you exist, so hi. But yes, basically when you want to copy stuff from the terminal or paste stuff in the terminal, you need to add shift between your Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V, so it's something like Ctrl+Shift+C to copy, Ctrl+Shift+V to paste, and it might be different depending on the terminal emulator that you're using on your Linux machine, but on most terminal, it's like that. And why do they make it so confusing that to copy and paste, it's different in the terminal than on any other application? Why? Because they're stupid. You see, we live in a world where some people are stupid, and apparently, yeah. So that's my short explanation. But the real explanation is that they wanted to have Ctrl+C, cancel, send the kill signal to the running process in the terminal. So for example, if I do clock, oh yeah, I broke my clock function recently, so that won't do, but I like it because it's an application that keeps on running. So what else could I start? Let's say Pong, for example. Okay, it's not on this computer. Tetris, please. No, it's not installed on this computer. Sorry, it's a new computer. Not that new, but I haven't installed all my application in it because I don't have enough memory. I only had 29 gigabytes of memory and I only have 9 gigabytes left. So I'm not gonna install all this crap just to demonstrate that you can cancel with Ctrl+Shift+C now instead of just Ctrl+C. The default on your terminal emulator, it's Ctrl+C to cancel and Ctrl+Shift+C to copy, Ctrl+Shift+V to paste, and on all other applications it's just Ctrl+C to copy and Ctrl+V to paste. And it's confusing and it's stupid, and they should have Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V copy and paste by default and Ctrl+Shift+C cancel by default. I had to change that. If you want to learn how I did it, well, I first went into my config for my Kitty, and it's very different if you don't have the Kitty terminal. So if I go into my Kitty config and I cat, it's on top, so I can just do head Kitty config. So it's right here, folks, the shortcut, the magical shortcut. You can copy paste that. It won't be in the comment or the description below because I am lazy. So okay, so that's why you won't find it there, folks. But that's it. That's the mapping for these shortcuts. And it wasn't easy to find because it's apparently I'm the only one who don't want to copy and paste with the Control Shift C and Control Shift V on the terminal. So yeah, that wasn't the topic of this video. You know what? There was a topic to this video. You might not have noticed because I didn't start talking about the topic until now. So if I go, I'll use the F function, which is in my personal config. Thank you. What it does, it gives me access to some favorite folder directories, and I can just select them, and now I'm in the directories that I like. So if I want to add more favorite, I can do F/E to export the current. I could add one by typing the name, like for example out.epub, which is a file, and it should also work for file, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I absolutely don't know if it works for file. If it doesn't, it should. I should fix that. And if you want to remove favorite, I think it's R. It's the R flags. I don't know how the minus symbol. Yeah, minus R. That's how it's called. Yeah, the minus symbol. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, basically now that I'm in this folder, this is a novel that I'm writing because also I'm a writer, by the way. Yeah, I am that talented. I write novel, I program, and I'm unemployed. Life is so amazing sometimes. So let's create a new file with no. And you heard me right, folks. I didn't say nano, I said no, because in French, when you say to someone that he's an no, that means he's not very smart. And you know what? That's the topic of my video these days. I always like to refer to people in my video as stupid people, and I think that will stick for a while. I think I will keep doing that for a while until people start being smart. I'm gonna keep calling them stupid, including myself. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So if you do nano, of course, and let's create a new file called test.test. You can do that, by the way. The extensions are superficial in the Linux operating system, so you can do that everything you want, and it's still gonna work. And it's gonna be a text file by default, basically, and depending on what you put in that text file, the type of the file is gonna change. But you can put dot everything you want. You can put dot if you want. Just don't put in the name like this the end of line. It's gonna be really confusing for the system. Okay, now I was gonna make a folder named test, and as you can see, I can write some stuff, and if I keep writing, it looks like that. Now I'm gonna exit without saving, Control X, and no, I don't want to save the buffer. Now I'm gonna CLS because I like to have a clean terminal. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, I'm gonna open a new terminal to show that, but yeah, I have a new themed border on my Windows. I removed the border not long ago, and I put it back on because I like having this little indication of which window I'm using. Yeah, and it looks nice with the theme I'm using. I have the same color for my terminal than the default border, and a different color for the active focused client window border. Call it however you want, I don't care. It's confusing because you see those applications are called client, and on Windows they're called window, and this terminology change is quite hard to follow. You know, I'm not an English speaker by default. I learn English by making YouTube video, watching YouTube video, and you know, programming. And that's why sometimes I have some difficulty pronouncing some complex pronunciation of words. So, back to the topic. So yeah, let's say I want to write a novel. I don't necessarily want Nano to be like it was when I show it to you. I want Nano to be like this. Novel test. I like this format. You know what? I should call everything that I make, which is a temporary test, so that I could do something like, if I just quit with Control X, I could do something like rm the star symbol and test to remove all my tests at once. This is what's great about the Linux operating system. You can do stuff like that, and it's gonna work because this is a file. And you could do, if you want to be more fancy, use the del command, which is a function I created in my personal config. Yeah, I know, I'm great. So let's go back to this test I haven't saved. .test. There you go. And if I keep writing like I did last time, it's gonna loop back. And I don't have the enumeration of line, so you might not know exactly on which line you are, but that doesn't matter, I don't think so, for writing novel. And by default, that's gonna be very nice, folks. What I'm gonna show you is very nice. You're gonna love it. Look at this. If I add the hashtag symbol, by default it's gonna color code it as if it was a markdown file. If I'm not mistaken, I am mistaken. Why is that? I'm gonna tell you why it is. It's because do you want to save to buffer? No. You know, I said that the file type in the name doesn't really matter on Unix-like system, on Linux, but for my config, I think it does. So if I type this test, yeah, it's different. It's bold. You see, because this is a title, and then markdown. If it's a title, it's bigger when you compile it because you can compile a markdown file. And I'm gonna show you in a little while what it looks like once you compile it. You can write book and compile them. I mean, if you're a programmer and a book writer, that's something really cool that you can do. And if you want like to have a list, of course you can do that right here. Still some color code in there to remind you that you're doing something in the markdown format. You can do something like that, which I like. It's gonna add 3 line. It's gonna add a line. I mean, if I want a smaller title, I can have it here. And what I do often is let's quote something. This is a quote. Really useful to know how to do this. As you can see, the 2 bars at the beginning and the end are colored. That's because they're in the markdown format. They're not gonna show up in the final compilation file. So let's quit without saving. I don't want to save the buffer. CLS, by the way, no, it's in my aliases. So if I do an alias list, it's somewhere around here. It's right here. So you have it. It's a special config file. If I output the content of this file to the screen with cat, okay, if I output the content of this to the screen with cat, you can see that I have some color code and some specification for the for my writing format, for when I write novel. So how do I compile what I make? Well, I use pandoc a lot, and you can specify the file you want to compile, like plan.md, and then you specify the -o to say output, and then you name the output out.md, for example, and now you can save it and you're gonna have the output saved. And if I want to open, for example, this EPUB file that I have, which is called out.epub, I have my own aliases. When I showed the list of my aliases, maybe you saw it for the EPUB format, and it's gonna open the preview with the I think it's the Calibre document viewer, which I customized. It's really easy to do. You go in your preference, you go into style, and you paste some CSS into this bad boy, and it's gonna work. So now that you customize the style, you can see I have some bold text, some not so bold text. You have the chapter on top of it. And that's pretty much it for this video, folks. I hope you liked it. You can leave a like, leave a comment, ring the bell, do all that YouTube stuff that people do and like to do. as always, I'm gonna do a small Neo fetch to satisfy your needs. And I'm gonna end the video right now and there. Bye bye. See you later for the next video.